Hello and welcome to Super Okay, where we try to do a decent enough job to entertain your mom with our opinions on video games. As always, my name is Dale, and I am joined here by some absolutely perfect human beings in every possible way. Every cell of their body is in immaculate shape. Brody, how are you doing today?
Man, I am sending it right now. Let me tell you. God damn. Wow. This episode has started off on such a high note. I think everybody's just got some big Mother's Day energy because apparently that pervades everything. But hey, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to have an opinion about one video game.
Some big MDE.
There you go.
Yep. Wonderful. You also heard the laughter of Mel. Mel, how are you today?
Hi, I am doing super great on this Sunday.
Anything weird going on in your house?
Yeah, what's going on the other side of your wall?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. This is so awkward. But my father-in-law is on the other side of my wall currently, laying down some pipe because our water faucet thing outside broke. So yeah.
That's hilarious. That's what he should be doing on Mother's Day. God damn it, I'm going to hell.
This is so embarrassing.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
All right. Yeah. So this is Super Okay. It's a podcast about video games, but fuck that. Each week we do a highlight of the week where we talk about something that made our week a little bit better, a little bit brighter, a little bit nicer, a little bit better for the world that we live in. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I'm going to pick the lowest hanging fruit. I might not be the only person to mention this, but Tears of the Kingdom just came out and it's fucking outstanding. I've been playing a bunch of it and much classic Brody style. I started playing it wrong. And
how did you play it wrong?
Yeah.
Because this game is different than other Zelda games in that, like, when it gives you a weapon, like it gives you a sword, but that's not a complete weapon. That's half of a weapon. And I didn't realize that. So everything that it gives you by default, unless it's like been fused or it's been combined with something else, is just part of another thing. And so the game really pushes you to kind of get out of your comfort zone and be as imaginative as possible from a sandbox perspective with like the shit that you can meld together. So you can do all kinds of wild shit. I mean, one of the things that I really enjoy doing is you can get like the choo-choos, little like blobby dudes that flop around the world and they're like fire and ice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the things I just started doing was putting an ice thing on my shield so that if I have an enemy that I'm really scared of, I can get that shield out. And if it attacks me, it's going to freeze as soon as it hits me. And so I can run away or I can do other stuff. I've also figured out some stuff like I can combine an exploding barrel with like a sword I don't like. And I just have a fucking grenade that I can huck at any point, which is amazing. Anyways, I just started off being like, I have this sword. I'm just going to hit you with my Traveler's Broadsword. And it's like, I'm not doing any damage. This is miserable. But I was playing the fucking game wrong. And now that I'm playing the game better, more fun and more damage.
I feel like that's a learning curve, though, because like if I were to start a Zelda game, I wouldn't even think about fusing weapons together or like different materials together in order to make something like greater. I feel like that's like something that you learn over time. Like it's probably the game. I haven't played the game, just to let you guys all know. But like, doesn't it tell you like as you're playing, like, hey, you can do this? You can like merge things together like 30 minutes, an hour into the game, maybe?
Yeah, so without spoiling too much like Breath of the Wild, like the intro plateau area gave you like all of your abilities and all the things that like you were going to use, and then it just set you out into the world. Same thing kind of happens in Tears of the Kingdom. The problem is that like it's still really easy, especially if you played a fuck ton of Breath of the Wild, to still be in that mindset. So regardless of like it giving you the tool set, you're going to go off in the world and be like, okay, I have my sword and shield and I'm doing no damage to anything. And like, I can't, I don't have bombs. I don't, you know what I mean? You just find yourself like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And like, if you don't kind of, it approaches everything not as like an open world, like an exploration thing. There is that too, but honestly, it's almost like they took the entirety of everything and made it like a little puzzle. And they made it like, you can solve this situation in 1,000 different ways. And so it really is true. Like everything that you encounter, you can do 3 or 4 different ways. There's rarely like a right way to do something. Even like the most obvious thing is not always something that works.
Makes sense.
It's just been a brilliant game. It's one of those games where like I sat there and I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm as enjoying this as much as the original game. And like 6 hours had passed, and I'm like, okay, never mind. I think I probably am at this point. Like this game's really fucking good. So that's been so far my highlight. I've been looking forward to it. Work's been just a beast the last month, so having this happen now has just been awesome. It's been good timing.
I always love those situations of like, I don't know if I like, where did 6 hours go?
Right?
Yeah.
I guess I do like it. I guess I do. Thing that I definitely liked for my highlight of the week was the fact that we had to clear out our basement because we're going Baba Yaga house very soon. Where our house is going to be on stilts and they'll be excavating it. And so I'll be recording from weird places coming up very shortly. But what we had to do, we had to get everything out of our basement. And I have pretty bad asthma. And there's a bunch of mold and mildew and stuff down there. And so this was just a case of like friends coming together to help out. And it was totally awesome. We had Xando and Johnny, both from the Discord, come out, help us. Andrew's brother Daniel came out. He's in the Discord, but he don't do shit in there. That's right. I'm calling you out, Dan. And then our friend Megan came by to help as well. Brian was there. Brian was actually the first person there. He like went to shop for snacks with me and stuff. But this job that would have taken Ange and I like several hours and probably me several asthma attacks. Instead took us like 3 hours, right? We started at like 7. We were done by 10. We had a break for pizza in there. And then we just like sat around a bonfire and got to hang out and all of that. So it was just one of those cases of like, sometimes your community comes through for you. Sometimes like you're like, it sucks to have to ask your friends for help, but man, does it feel good when they show up when you do ask for help, So thanks to everybody who was there. You're all amazing humans, and thanks for not letting my basement kill me.
Sounds like an overall good time. Just in general, like even cleaning after and like just hanging out after, like just being around a bonfire. It's so cool.
I mean, Xando just took an axe to a pallet and we burned it, and it was amazing watching him just like, oh yeah, I'm going through this axe, and then he was like, I gotta leave, and we were like, do you want to break the last pallet? And he went, yes, I do. And then he just went to it. It was amazing. Nice.
Oh, cool. So for me, like I went to Texas, Yeehaw, Texas, on Saturday. Yeehaw. It was my first time actually like being in Texas. I ended up going down there because Josh had like a work conference, that he was speaking at. So I was just like, if your work is paying for a hotel and some things, like it makes sense for me to go because like I've just never been. So most of the time when I was down there, I was just like exploring San Antonio by myself, just like walking around the Riverwalk, trying to see. I saw the Alamo, which was really cool. I saw some like really old cathedrals that were like built in like 1700s. And it was just like a really gorgeous time. Like the weather was really warm, which was nice because here in Michigan it was kind of like meh, for the past few weeks. So being able to get some sun, getting to walk around in like shorts was like so cool. But yeah, I loved being able to like be down there and like see Josh like in his element, talking to like his coworkers and like talking to his customers. And I just felt so proud of him. I'm just like, look at you, like all grown up doing adult things.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. But I do have a question about Texas. Well, I have two. Number one, now that you've been to the Alamo, you have one job, which is apparently not to forget it. So there's that. Number two is, I don't know if you noticed this or not. When we weren't in San Antonio, we were in Houston to visit my cousin, and we found that the like zoning, the way that the kind of zoning happens is really odd. So you'll have like businesses right in the middle of residential areas, and it's very. Did you notice that down there?
I did. Especially when I was like driving, like I flew into Austin for like maybe like a day or so. And then I drove down to San Antonio. But like when I was driving through the cities, I was like, it's weird. Like there's a office building right here. There's like a shopping mall thing right here, but then there's also like residential places like right across the street. And I'm like,
there's like somebody's house right there.
Is this typical? Yeah. I had no idea that this was just like, oh yeah, these are just like how our neighborhoods are built. Like sometimes you'll have like a neighborhood, but then you'll have like a neighborhood cafe, like right in the middle of the neighborhood, and everybody would just like go to that cafe or bar. And I thought that was like so cool. I was like, man, I really wish that like we had something like that where like people just like get together, you know, at one central location to like get to know your neighbors. Like, I don't know any of my neighbors.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they just put in a coffee shop that in like what used to be a church near us. And it's just like, yeah, everybody just kind of goes. It's called the Congregation, and everybody just kind of goes there and hangs out. And it's pretty awesome.
I love that. Congregation.
It's right?
Yeah.
It's the rare non-sexual double entendre. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was just in Denver for work traveling, and their zoning was also just like absolutely batshit wild. It was like the train from the airport. We went through a bunch of different zones, and they all looked like different districts from the Hunger Games. There was like a Hooverville area, and there was like an area where there were a whole bunch of RVs just parked on the street. And then there was like unbelievably affluent hotels and apartment buildings and all of that. And then it was like a downtown, which they rolled up the sidewalk at like 8:30 at night. It was Brodyville. And so it was just absolute chaos.
That sounds pretty silly to me.
Yeah. Speaking of sillies and chaos, today, our episode, the whole episode, is sponsored by chaos. Absolute, unadulterated randomness that underlies so many things about life, the universe, and everything. What if the Super OK crew was forced, under penalty of listening to Clay's transitions for eternity? I didn't write that, Clay. I just want to make that abundantly clear.
Love you, Clay.
To compile all of their best silly video game ideas and then answer them. Well, it looks like we're going to find out, because everyone would like to avoid that fate, which is far worse than death. Brody, you went hard on Clay in this intro. It's far worse than death. I mean, they're not great, but like they exist. Like I'd rather hear those and be alive. I don't know. Anyway, this first question is sponsored by the Voidfish from the popular podcast The Adventure Zone, second best podcast outside of this one.
Yeah.
It is a lovable celestial jellyfish that can also erase any single thing from all of history just by eating a piece of paper with the word written on it. If you had to feed one genre of video game to the Voidfish to be completely unmade, what would it be and why?
I don't know about you guys, but I've never heard of MOBAs. Like somebody said those 4 letters in that array and means nothing to me. So I know they're like... I've never been any good at them. I've never understood them. The fan base is always, in my opinion, extremely toxic. Like it brings out all the worst things about gaming. Like the folks at the top are so exciting to watch. Like if you watch the Dota International or stuff, like the people that are just really, really good at the game, but like anything else is just as a somewhat, I guess, casual gamer, no thanks. It's not for me at all. They're gone for forever.
I totally understand this take, because for me, I like MOBAs, right? I really enjoy playing them. I like the gameplay loop. I am not good at them. And the stakes are too high and the games are too long for you to play a MOBA when you are not good at it, even if you enjoy it, right? So like I'll find like little like phone MOBAs where it's like, oh, the rounds are like 5 minutes instead of a 45-minute League of Legends game, or God forbid, a 60-minute Dota 2 game. And I'll enjoy those, but nobody wants to play them with me because the fan base is still toxic as hell. So
Yeah.
I get this take. I understand this.
The closest I've come to like really, really enjoying a MOBA was Pokemon Unite, because it was like you get like 2 abilities. That's it, you know, and it tells you like, oh, your character probably should go top lane, or you're probably, you know, jungle or whatever. Like it actually tells you that, which is great because I have no fucking frame of reference for any of that stuff. And like the matches are super quick. So that's the closest I've come to liking one. But like I hit that point where I'm like, at this point, this is going to have to be like the only game I play, and I'm gonna have to get super good at it. And I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I always hate, like, especially when you're playing MOBAs. And I totally agree with you because like MOBAs are not my thing. I hate when you get into this point of the game where like you are not doing enough damage, you're like not collecting enough points because you're not killing enough things, that you're just constantly feeding. Like you have no opportunity to like get out of this because you are literally just like dying to the other party like just constantly. And that's just like such a bad feeling because like you like don't want to be that person, but like somehow you're becoming that person and you can't get out of it. And like I would hate to spend 60 minutes of not only my time but like my teammates' time of just feeding constantly. It's awful.
Yeah, the only worse feeling than that is when you fuck up so bad that the other team beats you before you're allowed to surrender.
Oof.
Right, which I've had happen a couple times in my LoL career, which speaks to just how bad I am at that game, by the way. My answer for this: hidden object games.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yes, this means that Where's Waldo is gone. There's like a small gap at your local children's library, but I hate those mobile ones enough that I'm willing to take the hit. The ones where it's like, you only get 8 guesses until you have to give us your car. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I hate them so much.
And they also,
like,
sorry to interrupt, but they fucking sneak up on you too, because you'll be scrolling through the app store and you'll see like, oh, this game looks interesting. And like now I've started to realize that when you look at the screen caps and you're like, I don't know what the fucking game is here, that like it's probably either some sort of really awful match 3 game, or it's probably a hidden object game where it shows you like, oh, solve the mystery, and that's stuff like I have no idea what this game actually is. It's probably one of those fucking hidden object games. They come out of left field and get you.
Yep. Also, I was playing Infinity Island, and a lot of the ads in Infinity Island were from this one hidden object game where it's like, there's a grandma and maybe she's a killer, but she's not the killer, and she like gets arrested, but then the cop gives her a key and she's like winking at you as she's leaving.
She puts the hand up to the window and says like he's alive on her palm. It's like, what is this?
So weird.
What the fuck? Why does this hidden object game have the craziest storyline that I've ever seen in any trailer for any media ever?
Okay, so the really funny thing, I think that game's called Merge Mansion, if I recall. And the really super funny thing is now they're running an ad with Pedro Pascal in it.
Yes.
So he's like a detective sitting at a desk and he's trying to be all hard-boiled with it. So like those folks are not sparing any money to advertise their game. It is definitely like everywhere all the time.
Which definitely means they've had enough like grandmas sign over their cars.
And it definitely also means that the game fucking blows.
Yeah.
It's probably just terrible.
You know what's also really crazy about the hidden objects of video games that you play? Like sometimes they like don't spawn the hidden object unless you go over that particular area like 4 or 5 times.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Like sometimes like you'll be like searching for the stupid object and you like look at this one area and you're like, man, like I've seen this before and like that object was not there like 4 or 5 times I've searched in that area.
Oh, that makes me so mad.
It's because they want you to like spend time in their game to say like, oh, like our metrics are so good and like our game is so clever that people want to play it. It's like, no, you are fucking cheating and you are like just putting that damn object in there like 30 minutes later.
Plus, they're probably serving up ads every 10 minutes or whatever, so they have to get you. That's the lowest fucking shit of all time. That's like as low as digital slot machines changing the odds in a casino.
Right. Yeah.
But you don't have the chance to actually win anything. It's just like, you found the teddy bear with a bullet hole in it. Like, fuck you, hidden object games.
Yeah, this is a really good call, Dale.
Yeah.
Really, really good. What do you got,
All
Mel?
right, I got my next. This one is going to be very controversial, but battle royales. Like, I kind of want to do it for the chaos because everybody fucking loves them, but I want to ruin what people love because, like,
what are you, a hidden game designer?
Because honestly, there's so many people who play this game, like these games, and they just fucking dodge. Like they don't even like care about going into battle. Like they just rather like go into the outskirts, collect all of their shit, and then come in very last minute, fully decked out, and just murder everybody. And those people suck. Like those people suck so much. Like why can't we just like go back to like the 2000s where like we were playing team death matches or regular death matches where like the action's all right there. Like I don't want to have to like search for all of this extra shit. Like I just don't.
I think this is a spicy take, but I think it's very fair because I also just love the days of like I'm just gonna fucking load into old school Modern Warfare 2 and play for like 4 hours. Like I'm not gonna pay attention. I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into it. I'm just gonna shoot things. Like that's all I'm gonna do.
And on top of that, like let's shoot things that are like relatively the same level or like has the same shit as I currently do. Like I don't want to fight somebody who already has like a level like 3 shield and I only have like level 1 and I couldn't find any fucking like attachments or anything for my gun. Like this is not fair. It's fucking bullshit.
There are a few things worse than spawning into a BR and dying before you've got a weapon because somebody decided to drop near you and they happened to find a weapon before you. Like that does always suck. But as somebody who has recently gotten into BRs, like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do the thing where I'm like just derping around on the outskirts, like, oh, I'm completing quests and I've gone to places where people don't want to go because Fortnite also has like quests and there's like all this weird RPG shit in it. And yeah, dude, the game is absolutely wild now. If you tried Fortnite like 3 years ago and you try it now, it is a very, very different game. But so I'll just be like running around doing quests, killing Darth Vader. And legit, a quest I did last night was kill Darth Vader. And then like I will accidentally like just have not engaged with a single person. And then suddenly it's like 25 people left. And I go to where the storm is and I'm like, okay, now there's 13 people left. I'll kill one person. Now there's like 8 people left. I'm in the top 10. I kill one other person. And then it's like, all right, it's me and one other guy. And I've seen 3 players so far, so I totally understand where you're coming from, Mel, where it's like, I didn't deserve to be in the top 3. That doesn't make sense.
Like you're just getting lucky at that point.
But I think this is a good point because Fortnite has done a really good job of kind of like we talked previously about like the stakes being high in MOBAs of lowering the stakes in BR because like in classic PUBG and stuff like that, like when battle royales were just starting out, the stakes were so fucking high because you didn't want to just sit there forever, right? So yeah, no, I think this is a good call. I like that. I have a lot more to say, but I should probably can it because we got other shit to talk about.
Yeah, I'm fuming about battle royales now.
I'm still fuming about Dale's answer.
Go for it. I'm sorry you're fuming. Man. Jeez. All right, so our second question here is sponsored by sports trophies, especially when they are given in place of what was actually accomplished. Accountant of the Year, have a bowling trophy. Won a chili cook-off, here is a Jeet Kune Do trophy. What achievement in all of your video gaming career have you been the most proud of and why? And I'll go first on this one because I've talked about it a bunch, but I beat all of Mario 2 The Lost Levels.
It's impressive.
That shit was insane. It was very rewarding. I also did it like pre-internet where like I couldn't look it up. There was no like game GameFAQs was like brand new-ish. And so there wasn't like a walkthrough. So I just kind of sat on a couch and just like beat my head against a wall for legitimately 8 hours to get through that game. But it was a very worthwhile experience. I just realized this right now, but Clay has been asking for the Dark Souls of Mario Dark Souls forever. And this is the Dark Souls of Mario. If you haven't beat the Lost Levels, like that's it. That's where it is.
Well, on that note, I think it definitely makes sense for me to go next because it's one of 2 things. And the one thing I've talked about in the podcast is beating the original Dark Souls. And that's the only one from the series that I've actually finished all the way through. I played the only other one that I invested that much time in was Elden Ring. And I got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore. Like all I was doing was grinding the last boss fights, because it's like the last 3 boss fights right in a row at the end of the game, and then the game's over. I know that for a fact. And like, I'm good. Like I've died enough times to those boss fights to just say that I've beaten Elden Ring. So either Dark Souls, beating Dark Souls, or potentially at one point in time, and I think I may have mentioned this, but I can't remember. This was way back when Xbox Live Arcade was in its infancy. One of the first games that came out was this game called Marble Blast Ultra. And there was one level in Marble Blast Ultra that I found out just, I don't know why I was on a leaderboard. Like what the fuck? Why would me of all people look at a leaderboard?
You were on a leaderboard?
I was like 25th in the world
Holy
in
shit.
rankings for that. And like, I think it was one of those things that I was so flabbergasted when it happened. I was like, me? What? That I began like, I kind of really leaned into it and like tried to improve my time and getting through the level and stuff. And like, I think at one point I improved my position like 2 times, and then like I could never get any further, but still I was ranked in the top like 30 in the world for one of those levels. And I was like, that's pretty impressive for somebody who like never does anything like this.
That's pretty wild, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. So mine is being at LAN for a video game tournament and 1v5 clutching the other team that was ranked higher than us, which was like super, super cool. It was like Call of Duty Search and Destroy. So it was extra. Ooh, yeah,
that's
it was
wild.
like extra
S&D is
hot.
wild.
Yeah. And not only was this in front of like a whole bunch of people, like this was like broadcast live, like throughout the internet. So like people actually watched me like do this, and I was just like the only girl that was there. I was one of the only few people that ended up getting like a 1v5 ace clutch, and like that is something that like people to this day who have like been to that LAN will always be like, hey Mel, remember that one time that you like 1v5s like this other team?
Hell yeah,
that's awesome.
Murder Mel doing work.
It was actually crazy. Super crazy.
For those of you who don't know, because I didn't know until like I was playing a bunch of Warzone, Search and Destroy, please keep me honest, is like their kind of version of Counter-Strike a little bit, right?
Yes.
Where there's it's like a plant the bomb sort of thing.
Yep.
But you can also win by eliminating the other team.
Yeah.
So an ace means that you as a singular person killed the entire
all
other
5.
team.
Yep.
That's really fucking impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And clutching means that you are essentially just like killing the other team by yourself. So like an ace clutch means that you killed all 5 people versus just like a regular clutch where you just like murdered the other team to win. Yeah. And I think like more specifically, because not only was this like team was ranked to like get out of like the round robin that we were in, and we ended up just like our team murdering that particular team during the round robin, which was just like unheard of for like a pug team to do something like that. So it was really cool.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Yeah. I agree.
Was it like dirty, or was it like, no, you just outplayed them? Was it
I outplayed them. Yeah.
That's good.
It was crazy because like what I ended up, like, I remember there was like, when it was literally like a 1v1 situation, like I threw a smoke grenade somewhere. And I think that like it distracted the guy who I was playing against, and I like went around the corner and shot him in the back. Like he had like no idea where I was, period.
I love it. Nice. I absolutely love it.
Hell yeah. That's amazing.
That is so good. God, 1v5 clutch is gonna like ace clutch is gonna be rare enough, but to do it well, like in a tournament setting while it's being broadcast, that's absolutely mind-blowing.
Super crazy. I remember the whole entire time like just shaking, like, oh my god, like this is crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Valorant in the Discord at nights, and seeing the number of people who just choke in that scenario is insane. So the fact that you grabbed it is amazing. All right, let's move on to our third question, which is sponsored by the concept of a cameo. We are not sponsored by any associated products, platforms, cameo.com. If you are listening, I mean, we would do it if you reach out to us for sponsorship, but you haven't yet, and that's fucking on you guys. So anyway, did you guys see that thing? That one person who showed up in it? I wasn't expecting that. If you could play video games with one person, living or dead, who would it be, and what game would you be playing?
So I spent a long time with this one, and I think my answer sucks, but I'm going to do it anyways. I came down to one of either two things. I think that I would either love to play through either Mario Odyssey or like Breath of the Wild with Shigeru Miyamoto, and just like have him do almost like just like talk about like his feelings of the game or whatever. And I understand that like he's less involved, but like that man is responsible for some amazing feats of video gaming, and I think it would be awesome to just see like what this stuff looks like from like somebody like his eyes, right? So he's just like, oh yeah, when I did this, this is what I was thinking, or whatever, you know, when I designed this. I think that would be absolutely fascinating. So in the same way that people love doing like those directors' commentaries on movies and shows and stuff, I think I would absolutely love that. But my other one would be to pick a game that's like, I don't know, like a Mass Effect or Mass Effect 2 or like No Man's Sky, and play it with like Neil deGrasse Tyson, just because I think it would be fascinating to kind of get his takes on like how they manipulate takes on like advanced astrophysics concepts and stuff like that, and to just hear somebody be like, I don't know, just I'm very curious when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I love like hearing people talk about that shit. That's why I love documentaries and stuff. So I think I would absolutely love it to hear somebody like him go on about it. Plus he's just a funny dude, so I'm fine with that either way.
Yeah, okay, I would love to go next because mine's kind of like riding on the same tone as you. I would love to play like literally any type of physics game with Isaac Newton, just because like one, I think that he'd be like freaked out to be like, oh my god, like what, this is a video game, like I've never seen something like this. But then like also him like seeing the physics like in games and him going like, is this real? Like, what is this? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand how like gravity can do like, this thing, and people ragdoll and like things bump into each other. Like, I just think it'd be just really interesting to see like what he has to say about like physics in a video game, period.
Oh, that would be wild. That would be wild to like show him how far things have come through that.
Mm-hmm. And being like, oh, this is like how we think physics is actually like.
I love it.
Yeah, that's I like how we all kind of went historical a little bit for it, because my choice was Charles Babbage, the inventor of the first computer.
Oh wow.
He made like a mechanical computer. I went to the Computer History Museum in Palo Alto while I was out there, and got to see one of them like moving and shit. And I just want to break his brain in half. I want to play Half-Life Alyx with him in VR, and just like, hey, you're like wood and steel thing turned into this. We've tricked computers. We tricked rocks into thinking, and now they can send you to alternate universes. And it's like so insane to think about how far technology has come in that short period of time.
Yeah.
And to like show someone like, oh, here's the great grandbaby of whatever you made. Like, that sounds pretty cool to me.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Our fourth question is sponsored by the Merchant Alliance and Sea of Thieves, which is unrelated to the question, but we do appreciate their generosity. Thanks for all of the gold and gems. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but I'm glad we have them. How does one launder gold? Anyway, if Kratos was a shopkeeper, what would he be selling?
My gut check on this was Brock and Sindri. He just wants to get those fuckers the hell out of there. Like, they're so annoying.
Hold on. You're saying Kratos goes into slavery?
That's my time for Silly's answer. I don't know. So my real answer would be something like fucking, he would be selling beard wax or something from all the like wolves or bear tallow or shit like that. He'd find a way to like make some beard wax, because he's got that nice looking beard, man.
Some sort of fucked up YouTube video of Kratos walking through the woods and like slicing a wolf open and putting the fat on his beard.
Boy, it looks like you have a beard coming in. You better buy my beard wax.
Absolutely insane. Honestly, my answer is not that far off from yours, Brody. My answer is a shop that just sells monster parts, like to witches and to like, like people are always needing Eye of Newt, but who's out there really harvesting the eyes of Newt, right? Kratos is the guy who's out there. Like, I can't imagine him having a peaceful shop. So murder, right? He's just basically industrializing his own murder.
Okay,
It's just a closed loop from Kratos to that one guy in Breath of the Wild, and that's up at that Skull Lake that's just buying monster parts. He's just the supplier to that guy, I guess.
I would. Okay, so if you were thinking that like Kratos like has to murder, like in my world, I'm thinking that like, oh, maybe he wants to live that peaceful life. Maybe he wants to be like a merchant, and I'm totally shipping him and Freya together. Like that's kind of like a dream of mine. So I'm imagining them like both running like this really, really cute like potion shop together, where like they are collecting stuff from the world. He's collecting monster loot, she's collecting herbs, but like she's making like potions in the background. And as they're like she's the maker, he's the frontman of like the shop, and people are asking him like, oh, I need this, and he wouldn't say anything. He would just like pull it out and go just grunt the whole entire time.
They're really on brand.
Yeah. And if people were trying to negotiate, he would win every single negotiation because he would just bring out his just axe and just like put it in front of him and make him pay full price.
Like they're like yelling at him with their hands on the counter, and he just puts the axe in it and freezes their hands to it.
Exactly. Just staring down.
Oh, I guess I will pay full price. And he just removes the axe slowly.
You really want to negotiate with a guy who kills gods just regularly?
Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. That is real rough. All right, so this question is sponsored by our friends anywhere that have gone on vacation anywhere. Hopefully that's all of you. If you haven't ever taken a vacation,
what are you doing?
Let's fucking talk about that. Let's get in the Discord and let us know like what your situation is. Maybe we get a GoFundMe going for you. I don't know. But if you have gone on vacation, get in the Discord and tell us about us, because we want to hear about it. We also want to hear about if Mario was going to take a vacation, where would he go? And I'm going to say he's going to the Green Hill Zone.
Nice.
Grass is always greener on the other side. He needs to go and visit like all of the Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and that whole crew. So he's just going to go over there and just like say hi.
So okay. I'm not going to lie. I saw your answer, and for a minute I was like, and it actually did inspire my answer to some degree, because I was like, you know what, the one thing Mario isn't like in front of regularly is like factory settings or something like that. Because I started thinking of like Chemical Zone, and I was just like, oh, I wonder if he's ever like hangs out at factories. And then my brain went to like, I wonder if he ever thinks about like having a corporate job. Maybe he just longs to like sell some timeshares or something. That's like what he wants to do for vacation, is like be in a really annoying meeting in a boardroom and talk about synergy and piggybacking and KPIs.
Oh my God.
Like maybe that's it. But and then, sorry, because my brain did all this random shit, I started thinking about like, maybe it's a whole Severance situation, but with like Mario's a real guy, but when he's in the Mushroom Kingdom, he doesn't know anything about the guy on the outside, and vice versa. He goes out to the real world, forgets all about the Mushroom Kingdom. I don't know. I went a lot of different places in that. I think I answered it. All right.
So in my mind, I thought about like Casino Zone or like Chemical Zone, but he's picking where he goes on vacation, and I can't imagine a scenario where he's like, let me go hang out with the place with all the deadly robotic fish, So
sure.
There.
So that's why I didn't pick that. The idea of a Stanley Parable, but it's Mario as the main character, is amazing though. Where he's like in an office setting, but it just happens to be Mario. And he's like going to a board meeting, and there's like fucking Birdo in a bow tie and shit. Like that sounds awesome. I would play that game.
Follow the adventure line.
I was gonna say have him follow the adventure line, being like, what is this? Oh no. Although I would love to see Mario, this is not my answer, at a casino, because I feel like after you've collected so many coins, like what are you gonna do with all your coins? Like, yes, you could get like that, like 1-up, but you could also spend it at a casino and then get more coins.
Well, also, side note, do we understand how he even converts those monies to lives? Is this like an altered carbon sort of thing where he just like buys other Mario husks that he could like slot
his like brain into? Oh my God.
Oh, that's so much darker than I thought I was gonna be. I was gonna say like he could just get infinite coins and then Groundhog Day forever, like drive in front of a train and like that sort of crazy shit. The altered carbon is way worse.
Oh no. Jeez.
Oh, Jesus.
But in all in all, I would love to see Mario go to Disney World because I feel like he would have like such a nice time meeting all of the other Disney princesses to realize that he doesn't have to save Peach only. He could be saving all these other Disney princesses and then do all the cool like rides and stuff like that and eat like the ice cream that looks like a Mickey Mouse. I feel like he would.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
sorry.
or maybe.
I was just going to say, or maybe he would realize that princesses don't always need saving. And they're just
True.
like happy doing their own thing. He could just experience all the happiness of Disney World. Sorry to barge in there.
So, Brody, your mind went on a weird place when you saw my answer. My mind just went in a weird place based on Mel's answer of like, what about the alternate universe in which Disney chooses Nintendo instead of Square Enix for like a Kingdom Hearts style game? And now it's like the Mario and Luigi Superstars saga style RPG, but with Disney characters. Like, that sounds insane.
That'd be crazy.
Goofy's inside story.
Oh, God, the idea that they're inside Goofy and doing all... God, that sounds so good. Oh, Nintendo. Disney, get on it. You two behemoths. I'm sure the fact that all of the Mario things are inside the Universal Studios theme parks won't gum this up at all.
Probably not. I think it'll be smooth.
They already have like that Marvel park at one of their Universal things. That's owned by Disney now, so it could work. It could work.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Disney's pissed off about the fact that they get to have that, actually. I don't think it's like an amicable thing. I think they're like, Sony, you signing away all these dumbass rights, you idiots. All right. This next question is sponsored by all of the undestroyed AOL discs that are sitting in a warehouse somewhere. By the way, Arts and Scraps has a bunch of these. I used one as like a scraper the other day. Inside Arts and Scraps, I was scraping off like some sticky residue from a wall that a child had put there with an AOL disc.
Wow.
How nostalgic. What if video game characters had Instagram accounts? Who has the best content? What would be an example of their content?
So, first of all, I just realized when you were saying that there's like probably going to be a handful of people who are listening to this who just don't even know what the fuck we're talking about. And I think that's kind of depressing. Like the people that just grew up beyond that frame of time.
No, I think that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
They don't have a grillion AOL discs that are like, do we recycle these? Like, what do I do with these? So, no, it's good.
Throw them at your friends. Fine. So I think the one that I decided on was the King of All Cosmos from Katamari Damacy.
Oh.
Like, that dude has to party like fucking crazy. The whole premise of the original Katamari Damacy is he threw a party that was so wild that he destroyed everything else, all the other stars that were in the universe. And so you got to rebuild them by throwing trash up into the air. Like, I can only imagine how great it would be. Like, first of all, whatever posts were from that party would absolutely be bonkers. And you know they would be. But second of all, could you imagine like the posts of like watching the like trash heaps go up in the air and him like, you know, zapping them into existence? Like him, you know, doing little fun posts about that? Be absolutely phenomenal. King of All Cosmos is my answer.
Brody, I'm so mad at you.
Did I steal yours? Did you pick that too?
No, you just have the objectively best answer.
Yeah,
and
that
I'm
one's
so pissed
good.
off. Why did you go first, you asshole? You should have went last.
Sorry.
Now ours are going to look like trash in comparison. And the King of Cosmos will collect our answers and turn them into a star. You piece of shit.
Rip. Sorry.
My answer is Ooh La La from Space Channel 5. No question, right? I don't think she'd be as good as King's Cosmos, but she's a dancing, singing news reporter who kills evil aliens with a laser gun. So she would be professional. Her shit would be well produced. It would be great music. And you get to see a little bit of murder / justice, depending on which side of that battle you're on. And so I think that would be primo content.
Very cool. I picked Sans from Undertale because I feel like his Instagram account would be full of a whole bunch of dad joke memes and then also like videos of him pranking his friends. And they're like not even like good pranks. They're just like, oh, I'm passing over like the salt shaker but like it's a little bit loose on the top. So when like they're pouring the salt on their food, it's just dumping salt all over their food. And he would just be like, hee the whole entire time in the background. I think that would just be great. It would just be him just pranking people, just dumb pranks.
Just a whole channel dedicated to pranking Papyrus. That sounds pretty good.
Yes, that and then dad jokes, memes.
Yes, that is.
I
also
love
pretty
this.
Good. I don't think it's as good as King of the Cosmos.
I agree.
But I think it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. All right, so this next question is sponsored by Nuka-Cola. The only good thing about where we are headed. That's fucking depressing. Now that I read that back, that's depressing. Considering that our dystopia is going to be so boring, which dystopian game would you live the longest in and why?
So my take on this was that I chose Death Stranding. And the reason why is because it seems like all the fucking weird shit that happens outside. All you got to do is stay inside. You'll be fine. But like you go outside and the rain ages you and you got to keep a baby in the jar to keep ghosts away, or the ghosts, not ghosts. I'll just stay inside. Y'all can do your package delivery and stuff. Norman Reedus can do his thing. That's fine. Just keep your poncho on. I'm not touching the rain. I'm not going outside. I'm staying in. I'll deal with the Monster Energy ads. I'll deal with Guillermo del Toro looking around. All the people with weird fucking names. You know they all have weird names. They all have the weirdest names.
Such weird names.
I wonder what I'd like to be called in that universe. No, I can't. Oh, that's for a different episode.
There is actually a Hideo Kojima like name generator thing that involves you like taking like a 60 question quiz. That might be one of our casual episodes. We just all go through the thing, because you need like a full set of 7 dice, like the D&D dice to do it.
Dice.
Yeah, it's an 11-page quiz to get your name.
it's gonna shit out something like Die Hardman at the end. Like, I need to do this. Yeah, we need to pencil this in.
Spoiler warning: the first question on this is roll a d6 and use this table to determine how many names you have. On a 1 through 5, you have 1 name. On a 6, you have 1 name plus 6 other alternate names.
Alternate names.
Of course.
Yeah, we're recording that episode. That's the next episode. That's it.
Yeah,
we're doing absolutely insane episodes back to back. Deal with it, Mom.
Love it.
I would love to have. I would love to live in the world of Watch Dogs. I want because I'm honestly like I feel like if I
want to get your shit hacked constantly,
but like I don't do anything. I'm a lowly human with nothing of value. Like people aren't interested in taking like things from my life. So by all means, hack my camera to watch me play video games like a fucking troll with like Doritos on my chest as I'm eating it, holding onto a controller. Like by all means, you can watch me do that. I don't even care.
I mean, as far as like dystopian futures are concerned, as long as you're not like driving while the main character decides to like throw up those traffic blockade things or like fuck with the red light or whatever, you're probably fine. So yeah, you'll probably live a long time. I don't know that I would want to live in that world, but but you would survive. So I guess based on the answer, that's probably the best choice.
Yeah, honestly, I'll probably just like live my life normally.
Yeah,
and then if my time comes, my time comes. I hope I die in a very cool fashion then.
My answer for this changes from yours because I'm an idiot. And so I have chosen Fallout with no question, because I am definitely the type of guy who would do some dumb shit and get overexposed to radiation, which would turn me into a ghoul. And they have a longer lifespan than humans do. And so as long as I don't run into the main character, it is smooth sailing for me. Not smooth skin, but just like I would live a long time.
You would live a very, very long time.
Right?
Yeah, you just have to not live in Megaton and you'll be okay.
Yeah. Or outskirts.
There's no Fallout game in the Detroit area, so I'm probably fine.
Although I do think that they're following me around, so that's probably going, because I lived in Boston and then I lived in DC, and so next one might be Detroit. We'll see.
We'll see.
Holy shit. That'd be wild.
I didn't live in Vegas ever, so we skipped one.
What about Fallout 76? Did you live in
I never lived in West Virginia. No.
Mountain Mama?
All right, so we the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle.
God, I
that's
love
not even
the
the right
fact
song.
that your new
That's
nickname
okay.
is Mountain Mama.
Is that's like mountain, like a mountain range, right?
Yeah.
Not like the actual. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
right.
I am excited because I write the descriptions for the episodes. And so it's going to be join Dale, Mel, and Mountain Mama as
Mountain
they.
Mama. Oh, good.
Oh, I also have the power to change names in Discord. Let me just do that also real quick.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. We have no sponsor for this last question. In honor of all of the silly questions, our last is, in fact, the most mundane thing that we could think of that wasn't depressing. And so I just need to know, what is currently on your shopping list?
So today is Mother's Day. So happy belated Mother's Day to all you moms out there. Definitely my grocery list is all just ingredients to make meatloaf. So it's not that exciting. It's like beef and pork and like ketchup. I also
Do you need oats for your meatloaf? You got to go down the whole list, Brody.
Okay. Well, I've removed them all. Damn it.
Why would you remove it? You need it to.
I removed it all because I went to the store already. I already did my store run.
Oh, you already went. So this is not on your shopping list.
Okay, currently the only thing I have on my shopping list is a stupid running joke that's been here the whole time, which was based on a typo that we had when we needed bungee cables, and I wrote bunge, and so we've left bunge with a subtask of also bunge on our shopping list for years. So the only thing on our collective shopping list is bunge with a subtask of bunge.
I love the subtask of bunge.
Like, as soon as they added that in Apple as a feature in reminders, we were like, oh, we have to go add this as a subtask.
That's so good.
This is so stupid.
Oh, and the only other thing that was on there was mouse traps. So for our rodent-ridden summer home.
Oh my God.
Bunge.
Does the summer home also need bunge?
You don't. There's a reason this never leaves the list. You always need bunge.
Great point. Absolutely amazing point. All right, I'm going to go next. I need to purchase an emerald colored bow tie from the internet. It has to get here by Friday because I am performing a wedding for Tubbs on Saturday, and his wedding colors are emerald and black, and so I have to match that. I need to buy movie tickets for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because we are taking my mom there for Mother's Day this evening.
Nice.
I have to buy new work gloves because I definitely punctured mine while we were moving shit out of the basement. From the grocery side of things, we need oranges. We need russet potatoes. I need some frozen lunches, especially the baked ziti by Michelangelo. It's in a green box. It's real good. If you haven't tried it, you should. We need Cliff Bars, preferably not chocolate chip because those are the ones we got last time, and I am fucking sick of them. And I need some ice sparkling waters, which I have been drinking instead of soda.
So good. Those are so good. Plus, they have so many different types of flavors. I love the lemonade ones. Like those ones are my jam.
They're the perfect replacement for soda, unless you get gout a lot, in which case they will flare your gout up like a motherfucker.
Really?
I learned from a friend of ours who has gout when I offered him one, and he was like, nope, that'll kill me. So if you got gout, stay away. But otherwise, ice sparkling waters, real good.
I'm curious to know what's inside of them that causes your gout to flare up. That's unfortunate.
My understanding is that it's usually like citric acids and that sort of thing.
Oh, gotcha.
But I don't have gout, so I haven't looked into it too deeply.
Yeah.
And I knock on wood that I never have to.
Understandable. All right, my shopping list. I have to buy a new pair of gold heels because Josh and I recently went through all of our shoes and these ones are trashed. So I have to go buy a new pair of gold heels for summer. I also have to buy veggies for my groceries because we have none in the house. turmeric because I don't have any turmeric. Bacon because everybody fucking loves bacon. Like everybody needs that. And I need to buy coffee syrup because I am the type of person that loves to have 2 pumps of coffee like flavoring into my coffee, and we ran out today.
What is? When you said coffee syrup, I was thinking like a Hershey's chocolate syrup, but it's coffee flavored.
Yeah.
But no, you're talking like a creamer type thing.
It's not really like a creamer. It's like the flavoring that they would pump into like your Starbucks coffee to like give it the vanilla flavor, the hazelnut flavor or whatever. Just because like I usually like my coffee black, but lately I've just been like, man, some sweetness in the morning really perks me up. So I've just been kind of rolling with it. Yeah.
Also, somebody get on my idea of like coffee syrup, like a caramel or a chocolate. Like I would eat that. That sounds so good.
I would totally put that into my ice cream. I'll have just coffee syrup and like mixed with vanilla ice cream. Oh.
Somebody has to do this. I bet it's out there.
If you can find it, put it in the Discord and it'll go on all our shopping lists. I promise.
I agree. The last thing I want to buy too is a Loop Experience earplugs, which is like more expensive earplugs that you can buy that has like this really cool like gem on the outside or like a cool little like loop on the outside. We're going to the Metallica concert later this year, and I just like saw it on Amazon. I'm like, oh, that looks really interesting. So I'm going to buy a pair. In my shopping list, right? It's like in my cart right now.
Okay.
Are they like better or are they just like more fashionable?
They're more fashionable. And apparently they give you like different sizes that you can like put into your ears too. So it like fits a little bit better. But yeah, it's just, there's fancy earplugs.
Huh. All right.
Because I'm getting old now and I have to use ear protection when I go to concerts.
Dude, I wish I would have used ear protection because I'm getting old now and my ears don't work. You only get one set and they never heal. And I didn't know that as a kid.
Yeah.
So I was like standing next to full stacks, like 3 inches from them. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Let's mosh. Like, fucking dumb Dale. Past Dale is such a stupid guy.
Yeah.
Future Dale's an idiot too, though. So
all you listeners, young listeners.
Yes.
Protect your ear holes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Important. True. Only present Dale is smart. And the only reason for that is that present Dale is the one making that call. Oh, God. All right. We got any other silly things we want to say?
Dan's the best.
You know, he really is. He really is the best.
However,
my favorite thing about Dan, I talked about how we've been getting into Fortnite. Dan, every once in a while, I'll like log on and he'll be like, Dale's here, we playing Fortnite? And then we'll get into Fortnite and he will just do the weirdest shit. He'll be like, I'm playing the healer this time, and like get a chug cannon, and like we'll be like fighting and it'll be 4v3 because he's like healing us. And it's like, no, man, you need to fight and then heal, you know, just like that sort of shit. I love him, though. He's the best. Fuck him.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Tell the people where you can be found.
You can find me the Discord is Arborescence.
What? Not Mountain Mama?
Mountain Mama just yet, apparently.
Hold on. Just give me 1 second here. Just,
oh boy. Okay, I'm just watching my name.
Didn't get changed to Mountain Mama.
This is riveting content, by the way. Mel, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Discord as Melephant, and anywhere else that has Melephant. Maybe it's me, maybe it's somebody else.
There's at least a chance it'll be Mel.
It's probably me, except on Instagram where it's not me.
My name has officially been changed to Mountain Mama in the Discord.
It didn't take long.
I love it.
Oh, it's the best. My name's a 20-sided ninja. You can find me wherever a 20-sided ninja is. If you see a 20-sided ninja out there and it's not me, seriously let me know, because I will find them. And depending on like age and demographic, I might pay them for the name, but more likely I'm just going to gently the one them.
Oh, that's intense.
There can be only one a 20-sided ninja.
There can only be one.
Factual.
Yeah.
Actual factual. All right. Tell the moms out there that you love them.
Happy Mother's Day.
We love you, Mom.
Happy
Love
Mother's
you.
Day. I love the moms. All right. And have a great rest of your Mother's Day. I hope you have a super okay day. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm your dad. I'm laying pipe in the other room.